Right guys, I'm just going to go quickly through my ferreting gear that I use. Right, wooden box, bow back, this is to put ferrets in obviously, catchers on the front, good catchers as well, hay inside. I work 2 ferrets, so I have double compartment. It just saves having to move blooming ferrets around and stuff, you know, like if you've got 2 in the same box without a divide in them, sometimes it's hard to get just one out. Right, 2 ferret detectors, Mark 1, Mark 3. 2 collars, right, they're the Mark 3 collars. I did have some Mark 1 collars for that box, but over time they've broken and stuff. That's a Mark 1 15-foot box, and it'll pick these collars up to 11 foot. You can turn these collars off and on, so that's why I used them, is basically because my old collars broke, and also that box picks them up and so does that. I have 2 boxes with me at all times in case battery or anything runs out on one of them. I can use both of them, I prefer that one. Also, if I'm ferreting with somebody else, they can use either of these. So when you're working like either side of a hedgerow or something, you know, the other guy's got a detector. Camera case, old camera case that goes onto a belt for the Mark 1, and a special pouch that I brought off of eBay for the Mark 3. I brought my Mark 3 off of eBay with the 2 collars for about 120 quid during the summer. And those 2 pouches are on a belt. Right. Good pair, well not a good pair, but these were a good pair of wax leggings. They're ones that I used to use for beating, but because I've used them so much and they've got a couple of holes in them, they're then relegated to the ferreting department, and you can't beat them. Basically they protect your legs when you're kneeling down, they keep you a bit cleaner, and also like sometimes, as you can see there, they've got rips and stuff in them where I've been going over barbed wire fences, so they've saved me from some potential injuries and embarrassing situations. Good pair of boots, these ones are high-tech hiking boots. They've lasted me 2 seasons. Usually a pair of boots with a good ferreting season, they don't seem to last so long, but those ones just seem to have stood the test of time and wear, as it were. They're still in, well, not good condition, but they're better than a lot of other pairs of boots I've had. Right, ground clearance tools. I have a machete which my brother-in-law donated to me. He used to do a lot of off-roading, he doesn't anymore, so he's given me that. That is bloody brilliant piece of kit. Keep it sharp, look after it, and it's a good bit of kit. I have a set of old secateurs, just for cutting like the odd small branch and stuff out of the way to get to holes and that, and then see if I can do it one-handed. A folding saw for the bigger branches, that's a good piece of kit as well. I think that was like £2 or something from Home Bargains. Right, Jack Pyke handler's vest, best piece of kit I've got. 10 nets in each of the front pockets, another 20 nets in the back pocket there. That's where all the ground clearance tools go as well, and also it's really thick material as well, so when you're wearing it, it protects your back from the hedges and stuff like that, you know, the thorns and all that. And also you save a lot of time when you are putting purse nets down, because you're not bending down to pick them up out of a bag and stuff like that. They're there at hand, and it's the same when you're picking them up. Right, a little bit on my purse nets. These are all spun polyester, the only purse nets I use. I can't be bothered with hemp because you have to hang it out to dry, otherwise they're rotten and the rabbits just go straight through them, and the nylons tangle too much for my liking. So I use spun polyester. All of my nets have elastic bands on them as well. When you're putting them down, you put the elastic band on your wrist. Then when you're picking them up, you put the elastic band back on the net. If you've got any elastic bands left over, you know there's still nets on the ground. It just basically says you're leaving nets behind. Well, that's a theory anyway. Sometimes the elastic band will break and it will come off of your wrist, so you lose the odd net. But I found with that system, you lose a lot less nets, and especially when you're ferreting as much as I am. If you lose one net every time I go out, I would soon have no nets left. Right, so there's 40 nets in that as well, and usually they're the only nets I'll take, and I'll come on to that in a second. Right, it's a Spade obviously, but it's got a metal shaft rather than a wooden one. I can't be doing with wooden shafts. I've had them before, the head comes loose, or you go to dig a rabbit out and the bloody shaft breaks. This is a metal shaft, it goes all the way through to the head. That's a good strong spade. It may weigh a bit as well, but when you've got a ferret underground, you don't want to be like bloody messing around with stupid spades that break and are unreliable. That thing's never let me down. I must say as well, all of my kit is based around walking long distances, because at the moment I don't drive, so I either have to get lifts or walk everywhere. And also a lot of my permissions are vast amounts of land, so you're walking all the time, so you're trying to keep the kit down to a minimum weight and have your hands free as much as possible. That's why everything's on belts or in pouches and stuff. Right, game bag. I very rarely take this ferreting, that's why some of the nets in there, the pegs are still clean on them. There's another 60 nets in there, so altogether with that and that I've got 100 nets. Right, this is the long nets in quick set baskets. This is the one I take the most. This has got two 25-yard long nets in it in the quick set system, and this green net is an 18-yard stop net. Right, they're the three nets that I will use the majority of the time. At 90% of my ferreting I can get away with using those, and again, because I'm travelling I have to keep the weight down. These in this basket, which has hardly ever been used, is two 50-yard quick set long nets, and I think the last time I used that was about this time last year. Yeah, it's heavy, and most of the time, as I say, I get away with just taking the other one. Yeah, and last but not least, I forgot about this, so I'll cover it now. Good knife for gutting your rabbits, and I've got a plastic bag here with some gloves in it. I'll never gut a rabbit without gloves on, because I bite my nails as well, so you can imagine what that's like. Okay guys, that's my ferreting gear, a quick sort of overview of it, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be showing you pretty much some of it going to use, but because I ferret on my own a lot of the time, obviously I can't film everything. Okay guys, I'll speak to you in a bit.